All right, thanks. My name is Peter Baumgartner. I'm here today with a plea to you to please build dumb things. I do not mean dumb in any derogatory sense. A dumb thing to me is just something that you build for entertainment value or to learn something or for a creative outlet when you're trying to learn something, and it's really simple. The epitome of a dumb thing to me is when I'm talking to my mom on the phone and she asks me what I did last weekend, and I explained to her like the Twitter bot that I built, and her response is, "Oh, that's nice." That's the epitome of a dumb thing. So I'm going to share some dumb things that I've built, hopefully to inspire you to just build dumb things and put them out in the world. It's a great way to learn about new tools and just kind of explore the world of Python. So the first dumb thing that I'm going to talk about is this Twitter bot that I built that basically generates random accolades for the city of Raleigh. There was a time when this whole thing was coming about Raleigh was getting a bunch of accolades from a bunch of different magazines, so I thought, well, can I randomly generate them and have them make sense? So like a lot of generative art and creative things, a lot of it is total nonsense, but there are some pretty comical ones if you pick and choose. So some recent good ones. These are all, at least from the last week. We've got Raleigh's in the top 5 for vetoing bandsaws, so get those bandsaws out of here. Best cities for ill-conceived unbelting shower rooms. I know almost all unbelting shower rooms are probably ill-conceived, so I think that's a bad idea. Faking sadisms. I'll let you interpret that one. And of course, number 2 in humping soaps. I don't know whether that's, whether you want to hump soaps or it's soaps that are humping each other. I'll leave that up to you. But I learned a lot of things just doing this about the Twitter API. I used NLTK and WordNet to basically try and figure out what forms of the words would fit into these Mad Libs here. And also, this is just a Heroku, a script uploaded to Heroku, and then just use Heroku scheduler to have it run every hour. So that's my first dumb thing. My second dumb thing is Santana Bot. Santana Bot is really great. So I got this Raspberry Pi for Christmas. I was like, what am I going to do with it? I was starting to go through some of the tutorials, and the first thing you learn is how to connect a button and then print out that you press the button. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to substitute printing out that I pressed the button with playing Santana's 1981 hit Winning. So this dumb thing, all you do is you press the button, and all it does is plays the chorus from Santana's hit song Winning. That's all it does. It's like the worst jukebox ever. But it's great. I learned a lot about electronics, learned how to program with the Raspberry Pi and use the GPIO, shell scripting, and again, the Twitter API. This tweets whenever you press the button. So I can share in the love of Santana. The pup potty tracker. So my wife and I have 2 dogs, and we have this problem where we forget the last time that we let out the dogs, and they will remember for us by going to the bathroom in the apartment. So I bought these Amazon Dash buttons on Amazon Prime Day. They were only $1, and you can hack those so that basically they still connect to your wireless but don't actually buy anything from Amazon, which is awesome. So you basically say, I push this button, and I have a Raspberry Pi running that detects, oh, you push this button, add this item to the database, and that item is when the dog did that certain biological function. This is a great motivator, actually, to get people to dog sit. I don't know what it is, but people really like pushing the buttons. It's fantastic. And then I've got this web app. You can go there and also keep us accountable for letting our dogs outside. I learned a lot here, too. The Raspberry Pi as a server, just to have something continually running, sniffing whether these buttons are trying to connect to the internet. Just use MongoDB to store all that. There's a free MongoDB host called MLab. They got a free tier. And then this is just a Flask app with some basic bootstrap to get it all mobile-friendly and whatnot. And my final dumb thing is it's working. This is great when you previously had something that wasn't working, and it now works. All it does is it plays this stupid 3-second video of Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, when he screams, "It's working!" when he makes his pod racer work. So it's a nice thing when I'm feeling good that I finally debugged something, and I just go to this and I'm like, all right, Anakin, thank you. Those are all my dumb things. Thanks for listening to me, and please build your own dumb things and put them out in the world.
Thank you so much. No joke required. All right, Julie is up now, and then following her, Peter Parente. You ready? Yep. Oh, perfect. Great. more technical difficulties. I can see what's going on. Yeah, you just all have to come over here, stand behind the monitor. Yeah, you could turn the laptop around. That. Try unplugging it. Something.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, another. Maybe this system just doesn't like Macs or something. What? Keep them entertained? You want to tell some jokes, James? Yeah, you'll have to keep them PG.
Perhaps even G.
G, you'll have to keep them G. Are you up for it?
Have y'all heard the one about the broken pencil?
Okay, cool.
Don't worry, it's pointless.
All right, we're ready. You're taking up time now.
Okay, cool. So my name is Julie, and I'm a PhD student in chemical engineering. And since I have a captive audience, I thought I'd tell you about my research. So today I'd like to introduce you to how our academic lab is using basic data science skills in Python to improve bioprocessing. So on screen is an antibody, and our bodies produce antibodies in response to germs. And a new type of therapy called immunotherapy is using antibodies to mimic how our body naturally fights disease. And antibodies are really powerful because they specifically target disease cells. So you can attach drugs to antibodies to deliver the drugs directly to the site of infection. So this method is used to treat a lot of diseases like Alzheimer's, arthritis, and even cancer. And we produce these synthetic antibodies in lab by reprogramming cells to make them. Unfortunately, though, we can't just program the cells to make antibodies. They also make impurities. And these impurities cause undesirable side effects in patients, and they must be removed from our medicines. And so that's where my research comes in. So antibodies are large molecules. Now, they're actually really small. You can't see them with the naked eye. But in the world of biology, they're really big molecules. And they're made up of tiny amino acid subunits. And some of these impurities differ from the target antibody drug product by as little as one amino acid out of hundreds. So removing these impurities is necessary and important, but it's also a significant challenge. So companies currently spend many months and many millions testing hundreds of filters and conditions to purify these new antibody drugs. And they even use robots to do all of these experiments. And all of these experiments have to be repeated for each new antibody drug because each antibody has unique properties and each production mixture has a unique set of impurities. So our lab's goal is to harness all this data to help companies develop better, faster, and more economical purification processes for antibody drugs. So my research will help guide filter selection. I'm really interested in connecting the protein surface properties with how they perform in the filters. And so I'm doing this using machine learning and other basic data science tools in Python and scikit-learn. So as a model system, our lab made a library of different antibody fragments that differed by 1 or 2 amino acids. So first, we collected data on all of these variants by doing a lot of experiments, like years worth of experiments. And now we're using all of this data to develop QSAR models, or quantitative structure activity relationship models. And so we're connecting, we're using these models to connect the protein surface properties to how they interact in the filters. And okay, I had some more about how the specifics, but apparently setup took longer than I didn't account for setup time in my speech. But yeah, so if you want to know more, I guess come find me later to hear the second half.
Thank you very much, Julie. It's very informative. All right, so next up is Peter. And after that, Eric. I know you're around. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're in my blind spot, so, okay. Yeah, by design, right? Yeah, obviously. And yet another Mac failure.
There goes my time. It's ticking. Come on.
Time for another joke?
Yeah, time for another joke. So why?
Nope.
I got interrupted.
Obviously Macs do not like jokes.
Macs do not like jokes. Okay. Can you all see that? Almost. All right, so lightning talk. 5 cool Jupyter things. I think they're cool. We'll see what you think in 5 minutes. Here we go. Ready? Okay, number 1, how many people use Docker? Like Docker? Cool. If you didn't know, there is a set of Jupyter, pre-configured Jupyter Docker containers. You download them. You type Docker run, and you're up and running with Jupyter. And you can get things with Spark pre-built in. That's what this little animation is showing. The all Spark notebook has Scala, R, Python pre-configured, and you got a Jupyter notebook server. As soon as I go to the right URL in the video. So there's one thing. Check it out. It's on GitHub. 2, we did a tutorial talk on this the other day. But if you haven't heard of it, there is the dashboard extensions for Jupyter. They let you arrange parts of your notebook into like a little web application. This video is just showing it happening right inside the Jupyter notebook, but you can actually deploy these as standalone web apps. So you can see a little Scotch dashboard here for selecting a Scotch that you might like, given another Scotch that you've tried before. So you get dragging, moving around. You could share these things. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Next one, you can actually, with another extension out in Jupyter, this is the Jupyter Kernel Gateway. You can actually annotate cells in your notebook with little RESTful verbs and endpoints. And you can turn your notebook into a web server, a web API, a REST API. This is handy if you don't want to build a UI like a dashboard. You could actually have another person come along who's good at JavaScript and things and build your UI for you. You just work on the back end. So Jupyter Kernel Gateway is the name of the project for that one. How many people have tons and tons of notebooks and they're trying to find something they did in the past and they can't because they got to click through all the untitled 1 through 1,000, you know? So there's another extension called the Jupyter Content Management Extension. You can actually search your own notebooks, does full text search over the inputs and markdown and things like that. You can see it happening here. It's a tiny video, it looks better on a full screen, obviously. And you just click them and it opens, and it's better than clicking through them all. Number 5 kind of combines, again, the content management extensions. Once you search and find these notebooks, Reagan Kelly actually worked on this originally. You can import them as Python modules. So you can actually make notebooks that are reusable libraries of functions. And you can search for them. You can click Insert into Notebook. See, it injects this giant name, which is a really long name of a notebook. And I can start calling functions on it. I think this video is a little long. I don't know if it's going to get to the point, but you could see it auto-completes, and there we go. Right? And I got one bonus. In case you didn't know, I hope people realize this presentation is actually a notebook being hosted on MBViewer and viewed on MBViewer. I shouldn't say hosted, it's hosted on GitHub, viewed on MBViewer as a slideshow. So built into the notebook, you don't have to install anything today. You just go to View, and you turn on the slide toolbar, and you can actually turn your cells into slides. And another Min's awesome extensions is you can upload it as a gist, and then you go to MBViewer, and we got this really cool Inception thing going on. We're watching a video of the slideshow that I was making before. I don't even know how to explain it, but there it is, right? So, and that's it. There's the links. I can post it later. I'll tweet it out. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Jupyter looks better on a full screen. All right, so up next is Eric, and after Eric, we'll have Christine. You around? Oh, is she in my blind spot still, too? She around? Oh, there you are. Sorry. Okay. You were behind me the whole time. All right. So I've got another bad joke to frustrate Eric with.
The whole point was so that it was going to be show you how easy it is to use Conda Forge, because I was going to use his laptop with no prep. But
And I got really excited to get off the stage for him and forgot.
Oh, there it is. It works.
Okay.
hooray!
It's up.
All right,
You're back.
So because it's a Mac, just give me a terminal.
There you go. Go.
Yeah. Oh well, now it's not even. Oh my God, it's not even mirrored. I don't even know how to do this now. Okay, I'm going to try and... All right, so... download... Oh, my... What is this terminal? Yeah, it's super easy. Look at this. All right. Okay, bash. All right, so bash. Where am I? All right. Let's see if he has Miniconda, which I hope he does. No. It like seriously was here a second ago. Downloads, Miniconda. Wasn't it in downloads? It's not in downloads. Oh my god. There we go. All right, so Miniconda. I'm going to install this in batch mode into temp Miniconda. Oh my god, thank you guys. I am trying to do this on a monitor that is literally 40 feet away. Because my screen, if you can't tell, is completely blank. So, okay, so we are now installing, and more installing. Okay, so export path equals temp Miniconda bin colon path, so I don't nuke everything. Which conda? Okay, we are now that conda. Great, so conda update dash dash all. Oh wait, I actually want to. You can regenerate this later. Move the conda RC. So we know that it is completely. All right, conda info dash A. Just to show you that I have no conda RC. Yep, no conda RC. Okay, so conda update all dash C conda forge. So we're going to overwrite the entire install of Miniconda from conda forge. Now I have to probably shrink this down. Oh my god. Yeah, it's so easy to read. Look at that.
Press Y.
Why? Well, no, I'm not going to download it over conference Wi-Fi because that'll be the rest of this talk. But basically, you can see that everything is going to be overwritten by conda forge, which is awesome. So, what else can we install from conda forge? TensorFlow, if I can spell it. Also not going to download it because it's very big, but you can install TensorFlow. Anything else that you guys care about? It fell off the bottom of the screen. Oh my god. Conda install, Jesus. All right. No, it is not. Okay, so enough of that. I literally can't even. All right. Okay, how active is this? Let's now. Okay, let's see. There it is, graphs. All right, let's see if this will pull up. How much time do I have left? Like 4 seconds? Sweet. All right, so that is the commit graph for conda forge. You can see that this line is 200, and it's mostly due to this guy, John Kirkham, who's amazing. Yeah, so super active. It really took off around March of this year. Now, how many packages are there? Again, let me move this over so you can see the URL. anaconda.org/condaforge. There are a lot of packages, 1,159 packages, which is actually more than Anaconda, than Continuum will give you on their official channel by about a factor of 2. Super friendly group of people. You can install all kinds of great stuff from them. And here we go, conda info, conda forge/python. No, shit, shoot. Need the Anaconda client so that I can access that. Please go quickly. Yes, that's shocking. Conda Forge Python. If you really want weird versions of Python, you can get them on Conda Forge, including 1.0 3.6 alpha, and 2.0. So with that, I will leave you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. If you've never coded in Python 1, it is a trip. Okay, Christine, you're up next. And after Christine, Bill, you're after her. So, okay, perfect. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm not going to use any slides, so there won't be technical problems. I'm a statistics PhD student, but I did my undergrad and master's in electrical engineering. And to be honest, I think it is sarcastic that I currently work in the statistics field for research, and I hope to become a statistician after I graduate, because when I was in middle school and high school, I hated statistics so much. Starting in middle school, I wanted to challenge myself to try to finish 1 year earlier. And at grade 8, the teachers told me that the test that I have to pass was to take the same midterms as the grade 9 do. And then if I score above their mean by more than 1.5 standard deviations, then it is considered a passing score, and this is required for each subject. And then on first try, the exam was very easy, and then I scored 95 over 100 points, but I didn't pass because the standard deviation was very high, because like many students score high, but some people didn't study at all, and then the minimum required passing was 98 points. Fortunately, the teachers gave me a second try, and then I finally realized that they were helping me by making the questions very, very difficult. So I thought that the questions were very difficult and felt frustrated. And then I scored only 90, but it was a passing score. And the teachers even told me that you only need like 70 something to pass. So I went off and finished 1 year earlier in middle school. But the problem was I started to hate statistics because I had the same level of ability, but it could be changed so much. And then in high school, I continued to hate statistics because we weren't allowed a calculator in math. And then the teachers tried to challenge us by giving very difficult numbers. And I thought that was very complicated. And then I didn't like it. So I thought statistics was used to torture people and make people feel bad. Then I went to college and I majored in electrical engineering. I like applied math, but I decided not to do the math major because I knew if I do a math major, I'll have to take more statistics than I was interested in. But in the electrical engineering, I missed one point. Missed one thing is that in the sophomore year, we had to take a required course, probability of statistics. However, things started to change because I realized that the standard deviation is just one line of code. No more complicated calculations. We can use a calculator. And I also learned to solve real-life problems, such as signal processing. Okay, it is transmitted during a noisy channel, and then we can see that it is a 0, but when we observe that as 1, we can calculate the false positive rate and the false negative rates. So things became more and more interesting. Then I went on to take more statistics and applied math courses. And in my master's, I even worked on how to compare distributions on Facebook data. And by the time I was applying for PhD programs, I had a big mental debate on whether I should do a statistics or a applied math or a scientific computation PhD. And then I finally decided on statistics because of 2 reasons. The first reason is that it doesn't require a GRE subject test. And the second one is that if I choose statistics, there are a lot of options that I can work on for interdisciplinary projects. And 4 years later, I'm glad that I made the right choice because it opens up for a lot of new possibilities and applications. The lesson that I learned is that be open to new fields and don't be limited to the past bad experiences because you never know what the new field can bring you opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. All right. Bill, I think you're up. And then I think we're out of time, though, right? Isn't it? Keep going. All right, if you guys are... Okay, we have more time after that. So then the next person is Charlotte. So, cool. All right, go ahead. Take it away.
Awesome. Good afternoon. I'm Bill Newman, and I'm very new to the data science space, but I'm not new to IT. I've been in the IT space professionally for just shy of 30 years, and in that time, almost 20 of those years as some flavor of database administrator or database developer. So I'm speaking historically, but it may not necessarily apply because I'm new to the Python world. But history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Historically, developers have used the database or data storage as just a place to persist their data, and they have historically done it very sloppily. And it's always been a hard-fought battle, sometimes almost to blows, but we've won out, and developers have a sense of data discipline, data management. But now with the data science moving away from the IT space and being more closely married to business managers, they are falling away from the IT oversight, and I think it's a whole new genre of developers. And it concerns me that I'm starting to see some of those same problems with big data, because you can put your data and brute force it back. You really don't have to worry too much about how it is or where it is, because the hardware will see you through. You'll get it back. So don't lose out. Don't forget your data discipline and data management skills. Keep them always in mind. Additionally, I come from a military background. And let's speak as far as information and the tools that you build. It's true in intelligence work that the data you grab is unclassified until you develop an interest in it and compile it, and now it's classified. Let's go with the predictive models that you build. You spend all your time tuning them, getting them just right. It's good. And now, in the enterprise, you have built a decision maker, which is very valuable. But historically, developers don't come from a security mindset. They're less concerned about securing those items, securing the tools they've built. And it's always been, again, a hard-fought battle to teach them to secure their products, to keep them contained in a secured environment, and to worry about security access rights. But again, the environments that you have are now your own, not so much in many places with IT oversight. So you build a decision maker that's very good, that your organizations rely upon. But now put some mind to securing those things and protecting them. Because if you lose them, if somebody grabs it, now they know how your organization is going to make its decisions because you've handed it to them. So, again, I'm new to the space, so this may not be as much a concern because I haven't had a chance to see how things are developing. But I charge all of us to be mindful stewards of the things we build and the things we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so next up is Charlotte, also slideless. Aw, thank you so much. That was worth, yeah, great lightning talk. Thanks, come back next year.
All right, so I just wanted to get up and talk for a little bit about PyLadies and community involvement. So it was, at first I want to make a correction from the closing slides. I did not actually get a job at the conference. It is true that I am starting on Monday at Cactus, and I'm very excited about that, but that did not get the job here, per se. Anyway, so that being said, another life-changing event that has happened for me in the past couple of weeks is that I was asked to become the primary organizer of PyLadies. Anybody who is, the local PyLadies. Anybody who's familiar with the local PyLadies may be aware that it's been a very quiet group lately, and that is largely due to, it had two primary organizers, one of whom just had a baby, and the other one has just been overcommitted. And so it was decided that it was appropriate to pass the torch. And so I am going to take the lead, and we are working on revitalizing the group. So if you've been aware of PyLadies and kind of dismissed it because there wasn't much going on, that is about to change. So anyone who is interested in being a part of PyLadies, I encourage you to go to the meetup group, and there's going to be a lot more happening. I'm really excited about the directions we can take it. That being said, I also wanted to mention the TryPython group. I know it's been mentioned a couple times already during the conference. PyLadies in this area works closely with TryPython, and we hope for that to continue. And I also wanted to mention, for those of you who are not local, or even those of you who are local, look in your communities and see what groups are out there, because it makes a huge difference in the strength of the community. I was just having a conversation with somebody earlier today about how one of the things that strikes me about the Python community is it is very much a community. You know, I've been to different kinds of user groups and all this sort of thing, and I'm always struck by how much the Python communities are that community. It's not just a place to go and share knowledge. That certainly happens, but there is that camaraderie and people working together and supporting each other, and that is so important to nurture that. So I very much encourage everybody to go out and find whatever your local community groups are, get involved, show up. Even if you don't have much time, you can still show up for a meeting now and then, and you never know who you might make a difference in the life of. You know, throw back to Carol's keynote speech, you never know who you are going to affect with even just a short conversation. So I encourage everybody to get involved in your local community, even if you think you've got nothing to contribute. I would tell you, if you'd asked me a month ago, I would have said, I don't know, I can probably contribute something, but I don't have that much. I don't have that much background. You know what? Here I'm standing here, becoming the primary organizer of PyLadies, because people liked my ideas and wanted to see my enthusiasm go into that endeavor. You never know what you're going to affect.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. All right, now we have JC.
Hello.
And there may be magic, apparently. Yeah, there is magic. Okay. And then following JC, we have Jason. So, Jason.
Okay.
Yes. Still around? James? No, we're skipping James. As Jason. Okay, Jason's not around, so we'll skip him. The kids are gone too, so. And then humans of PyData, I think. Maybe, yep, which is Lucia. So.
Hi everyone. Just to start, now I have 30% of battery, great. But I'm gonna clean everything just to make sure we start from a clean plate. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build the wheel and just show you how you build a wheel. I'm gonna time it too. We're gonna take 1 minute and 30 seconds. A wheel, and I'm just gonna do a parallel build of that wheel, 42, why not? Okay, because you need to go in the virtual environment. CPython on wheel, yes, and okay. And here we are building CPython on wheel. It's downloading Python, it's configuring, doing the introspection, and then you're gonna build the thing, and yeah, and then they're gonna show you. In the meantime, today I put my bug socks, and I'm pretty happy about it. Like what? Whoa, it's going very fast. Yeah, I don't have 42 core, but it's pretty good like setup, and it's going. I have 64 gig of memory on that machine, by the way. And
Which machines is running on?
oh yeah.
64 gig laptop.
Yeah, it's a bit too much, but I should have taken more core to be able to use all the memory. And the hard drive is pretty cool. It's an NVMe, and I have like 9 gigabytes in reading, and yeah, it's cool. I mean, you can do these dumb things. Like Peter was talking about doing dumb stuff. Great, I'm getting the wheel now. You see, CPython wheel, awesome. Let's check if I got the wheel. If I got the wheel, yeah. And I have the. Let's clear everything to make sure you see it. And I got the wheel like here. But now let's install the wheel. And I'm gonna go in test. And I'm gonna clear everything. And I'm gonna make sure that I don't have anything installed. Yeah, no CPython wheel. I'm gonna install it. Pip install, and I just give the path to the wheel. Gonna make things a little bit bigger. Make sure you see things. Okay, installing. Oh, it's installed. Great. I'm gonna go back to something a bit smaller because more things gonna happen on the screen too. And then I start Python. Okay, it's version 2.7.10, no big deal. Oh, maybe you can see it. 2.7.10, like here. And now I go back small. It's fun, huh? Go back, because I have time, you know. And then I do import CPython as JC, why not? and then I'm gonna do JC dot take over. And then what's gonna happen? Well, I mean, we built that like just before the talk. And then it's like, that's an ASCII art. I'm not sure what it is, but Omar told me it's cool, you need to do that things. Maybe from far it look like something. It's like a cool thing to do. But now, what do we have? What is that thing there? It's pretty useless, but now let's just do import sys. And let's do sys.version, and what do we have here? We have Python. You can't. Let's go big now. Yeah. And we have, it's Python 3.5.2. And it's the real 3.5.2. It's not just a string I'm printing on the screen too. It means, yeah, you can build a wheel of CPython. There's no wheel of CPython. We could put it on pip. Could build it with many Linux and have wheel for any version of Python. That's it. And now to show you that it's and here I just did Control D. I exited the first one, and now I can take over again, and I can leave again. That's it. And okay, now let me show you how does that thing work. Clear, and I have a setup.py, pretty standard stuff. Can you see things? The red? No, you can't see it. Can you? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? Oh, okay. Let's change. Hey, let's highlight it. Look at that. It's better. No. No. Anyway, I'm going to talk and you're going to just trust me, and that's going to be all right. Here we have the version 3.5.2. We just specify a few options, the package, description, metadata, like a regular wheel, and that's pretty much. And in the folder, what do we have? Oh, if I can type, I guess. And in the folder, I just have the source and my setup.py, and that's it. Voila.
Thank you so much, JC.
Hello, everybody. If you still do not know me, that means I've done a great job at letting all the speakers and presenters do what they were supposed to do, which is give you lots of information, inspire you, continue to help you pursue your career and your dreams. But I also wanted to give you a little background of what was actually going on behind everything here. I'm starting off with a few pictures, and I'm ending with my most favorite part, the numbers, the hard numbers. First of all, it all began with two people at a bar. It was actually not a joke. It was two people at a bar after a meetup, and Chris came to me and he was like, you know what? I think we should get a Python conference here. And I was like, I was naive enough to say, sure, count me in. After that, we had our very first board meeting with a very big board that we wrote tons of ideas on. You can already see a few of the faces you've seen across the last 3 days, guiding you along the way, helping with the setup, making sure everything runs smoothly. Afterwards, we kept the momentum going. We had more and more meetings. And then what happened at one of our board meetings? The man bailed out. You know what? That was not a problem for us. We kept going. And guess what? The man joined us again. And we needed a bigger table. Then one day we got very excited because we had our webpage live. So we were like, stuff is getting real right now. We need to hold it now because we promised the world, because we announced it on the internet. And when you have something on the internet, it must be true. This is how PyData Carolina started. Last but not least, we did a ton of setup work, and I'm so grateful for everybody having joined us in the days before to make sure everything's set up. And we finished 2 hours earlier than planned on Tuesday evening. That means we got to eat and actually go home and sleep before the conference starts. This is why you saw so many friendly faces starting Wednesday morning, because everybody did have a good night of sleep, which is apparently unusual for a conference organizer. Here are some tips and here are some statistics on making sure this conference is reproducible. First of all, send emails early, have conversations early. It turns out the very first email in my inbox with the word PyData was from April 2015. Apparently, we're quite slow in organizing a conference. Between just me and Chris, we had about 243 different email threads going back and forth over the last year or year and a half. The longest email chain was about 57 emails going back and forth. The toughest subject we did have to address that nearly made us cancel PyData Carolina, to be honest, was HP2. And I'm glad we did not, and I'm very excited that we were able to focus on diversity and making sure we have a safe environment for everybody who joined us. We also have an interesting statistics. I was doing a little bit of sentiment analysis on the emails received, and it turns out we do have a politest email sender, which is Eric Leary, our wonderful and amazing AV support. The latest email send was around 3 a.m. at night. Now, my colleagues, please cover your ears. My work colleagues should not hear that, but the earliest email was 5:23 a.m. So someone assumed it was actually the latest email I've sent. In addition to all those stats, we had so many volunteers, and we could not have done it without the countless volunteer hours that everybody has put in. So to all the volunteers here, I give you tons and tons of gratitude, and please come to me afterwards for a token of appreciation and some nerdy things to feed your Python knowledge. Also, that one's for you, Chris. Here is one thing you can definitely expect from us tonight, which is taking a good night's rest. So we will not send any emails until like 3 days from now, because we're sleeping. Thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you in North Carolina again next year.